Hi everybody, it's Helen McConnell again. I'm here with the third and final video, and as promised, I've got this fantastic tip to help you through those moments when you find yourself spiraling down, when you're caught on the negative thought treadmill and you're just going over and over, you're in that rut. I'm going to start with one idea that if you want to change anything in your life, anything at all, you've got to change your thinking. I'm going to just ask you to accept that premise now if you don't already accept it. If you want to change anything, you got to change your thinking. If you're driving your car and you go to the corner where normally you turn left, but today you're going to turn right, you got to change your thinking. It's easy to turn left because that's what you always do, but today you're going to turn right. It requires a change in thinking. Now, here's the thing. My whole life I spent, up until I was in my 50s, not knowing how to change my thinking. I'd had experiences of epiphanies where my thinking totally changed. When I got sober, I was an alcoholic. When I got sober, I had an epiphany and my thinking changed so drastically. I quit doing drugs. I quit smoking. My thinking had to change in order for me to do that. And so I know it's true, but I never could figure out how to do it on my own. These things just seemed like miracles that had happened in the past. And then I discovered tapping about 6, 7 years ago, and I've been tapping on limiting beliefs ever since I found tapping, because I know that our limiting beliefs are what limit us. But then recently, I got this sort of psychic download about how to change our thinking quickly and easily, and I want to share that with you. So pay attention. This is super important, super easy. You can do it anytime, but I want you to imagine something you want to change in your life that isn't changing. Okay? Could be your money situation. Maybe you're not making enough money. I want you to imagine all the thoughts you think about money. We'll lump them all together for this example, but I want you to know that the reason your money situation isn't getting better is because your thinking hasn't changed, right? And I'm not talking about this thinking up here. I'm talking more about your subconscious thinking, wherever the subconscious is out here. I don't know where it is, but you didn't decide to think this way. This is the patterned program thinking that you got going on. So think about that money stuff. Money's pretty universally got limited thinking about it. Underneath all of our thinking, there are probably fears, family beliefs, moral values, religious beliefs, and all that stuff about money. But I invite you to tap along with this and just see what happens, okay? I'm going to invite you to consider that 90% at least of our thinking during the day comes from our unconscious mind. It's probably a higher figure. It's probably closer to 98% of our thinking. We don't even know we're doing it. You know what I mean. We drive down the road and suddenly we realize that, oh God, I wasn't even paying attention. I was just driving. That's unconscious thinking. We turned left because we always turn left. That's unconscious thinking. We go to the store, we wander around and suddenly realize you've been wandering around the store for half an hour. That's unconscious thinking. Get a song stuck in your head. That's unconscious thinking. Just know that you are a repetitive habitual being because of your repetitive habitual thinking. So as soon as you notice any of that old repetitive thinking coming up, I want you to tap like this. Tap on top of your head and recognize there's some old thinking. And you don't have to know exactly what the thoughts are. You just know it's old and repetitive because you're doing the same old thing. You say, there's some old thinking. Tap on your eyebrow and say, I've had this thought pattern for a really long time. Side of the eye. It's repetitive. Under the eye. It's negative. Under the nose. It's habitual. On the chin, it's unconscious. Collarbone. Same old thinking. Under the arm. And I'm expecting different results. Top of the head. I'd like to let go of this old thinking. On the eyebrow. I'm choosing to release this old thinking now. Side of the eye. I'm choosing new thinking. Under the nose. And I don't need to figure out what that new thinking is. Under the nose. Because if I try to figure out new thinking, on the chin, I'm going to limit myself. Collarbone, because I mostly only know how to think what I already know how to think. under the arm. So I'm choosing new thinking. Top of the head, and I don't need to figure out what that new thinking is. Take a nice deep breath. And just notice what that tapping round did to your mind. Just notice. Most people report that it kind of quiets your mind and goes, oh, really? I don't have to figure it all out? Oh, I'm free to not figure it out? Yeah, because how's that working for you? What it also seems to do is open our minds to a higher thinking that we previously didn't know we had access to. This is where new ideas and $1,000,000 inspirations come from, when we quiet our mind and don't try to figure it out. That was kind of a couple of rounds around, so I want to give you a short 4-phrase tapping trick that you can use. It basically summarizes what we just did. You can use it anytime. You tap on your head and you say, there's some old thinking. On the eyebrow. I'm choosing to let this old thinking go. Side of the eye. I'm choosing new thinking. Under the eye. And I don't need to figure out what that new thinking is. All right, take a nice deep breath. And I hope this gives you some relief. I hope that these are a couple of tools you can carry around in your toolbox. Don't be afraid to tap in public. Go in the bathroom if you have to, but tap. Use this often. I tap because of my work. I tap all day, every day. And my life has transformed because of tapping. And then this last part that I taught you, the new thinking tapping, has transformed my life yet again, but way faster. Okay? You can use that new thinking tapping around your work, around your eating, around things you're afraid of, around things you're afraid to give up, all of that stuff. You just notice when you're thinking old thoughts. Any excuses that you might have, there's some old thinking. Cut yourself some slack and use these simple tools to help transform your life. I want success for you. Hang in there. Keep working with Molly. Keep watching these videos. Let me know if there's any way I can support you. I'm Helen McConnell, purposeprosperityhappiness.com.